All right, everyone, we are here with a very special guest. We are joined by the newest Bachelorette, Jenn Tran. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me. I'm pumped to be here.
We're happy to have you.
We are pumped to be here. We're pumped for a new season.
Yep.
How are you feeling? How long have you been waiting for this moment?
I mean, I'm feeling really good.
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever dreamed of like being the Bachelorette necessarily, but like to be just like where I am today and be like the lead of my own story and to have it like on display for everyone to see. Like I'm really excited about that. I know like how many people I'm gonna inspire just like being unique in the first of my position, you know. But I also don't really feel like, I don't know if it's completely hit me yet. I was at a bar with my friends and I watched it last night and it was nice to do that, but I felt like we were just watching home videos together. Right. It didn't really hit me that millions of people are going to see this.
Look, I lived through this, so I remember, but now everybody else is watching.
It's kind of crazy.
And the premiere just happened, so you're just getting things started, but like how your story ends or begins at this point. But you have to keep this locked in for everyone else to see. How hard is that for you right now, especially doing interviews? You're sitting down with us, you're sitting down with a million other people. How do you contain yourself?
I don't know. It's surprisingly not totally too hard. I think I'm just really, really excited about it all. So I'm excited for it to all unfold. But I think I'm like a really good secret keeper. So,
there you go.
So I don't.
You got it.
No
You're
slips.
on lock anyway. So you got it. But it's been a few months now. We've been on, obviously a little bit of a break from watching a Bachelor Nation show. So we're back. But we the big announcement of you becoming the Bachelorette really took the world by storm. Everyone was excited and surprised, but like how did you feel like when they approached you to be the Bachelorette?
So it was like a little bit after Joey's season had ended and I got a call about coming in for an interview and then some other meetings about it, and I wasn't sure about it yet. I'm the kind of person that will take any opportunity just because that's who I am. I'm a Sagittarius. Like I'm gonna say yes. But so I did the interviews and I was thinking about it, and obviously like I'm a hopeless romantic. I've always wanted to like find my person, go on a love journey and all that stuff. But I didn't know if I wanted to be a public figure, like because I knew it would be a big step and something that I would have to fully like sit and think through if I wanted this for myself. And so I eventually made the decision and I said yes, but it wasn't an immediate yes. It definitely, I had to think about it,
I mean, it's a good decision to think about. You don't want to just say yes immediately. You have to weigh all the possible consequences that come with it and then make the decision like, you know what, well, I might find my person. So, so why not? But yeah, I think, people were so like excited and surprised, like Fran said, but you had begun literally immediately after that announcement, right? Like as soon as it was announced, you were just taken away to start the show. What was that like for you to not even really have that moment to take in the announcement?
Honestly, it was probably really good for me, I think, to not really get in my head about it, because I think there were a lot of opinions surrounding that time, and I don't really think I understood it until I got back from filming. So it was good that I didn't have any like of that outside noise influencing my decision making or the way I had felt about something
for sure
moment. So,
totally, just to focus on the journey and not have anything in the back of your head. You got to really focus on yourself. Were you really excited to be able to showcase your personality, because you do have such a bubbly personality that I think we saw in the little glimpse of your announcement and even the first episode that maybe we didn't see as much on Joey's season?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was so excited for people to learn about me and to get to know my story, but I wasn't necessarily like, I can't wait for everyone to see all these different sides of my personality. I wasn't going into the journey thinking like I need to like showcase everything. It was more like I went to the journey just being myself and really trying to go through this love journey, which ended up being a lot of self-growth too. So that's what I'm really most excited for people to watch and kind of resonate with is I feel like I jumped through a lot of hurdles throughout the season and it's going to be fun to kind of watch back.
You've kind of had to fight through a lot of different, I guess, like rumors and such of like when the Bachelorette announcement was made and different stories being told. How did you kind of navigate all of that when you got off the show or finished the show?
Yeah, so when I came back from filming, there were a lot of narratives out there, and at the end of the day, all I want to do is focus on my journey, because at that point I had finished, and I was like, I want everyone to be focused on this, and there's no point in going back and rectifying anything. But what I wanted to say was that there were a lot of people up in contention for the position and all this stuff, and that every year it's the same process, and that's just the truth of it. But what I want to focus on is the fact that this beautiful journey happened, and I was so excited for everyone to see it, and now that this time is finally here, and the journey is finally beginning for everybody else too.
Right,
definitely. Let's dive into night one.
Yeah.
First of all, jump scare. I couldn't believe it. I gasped. It wasn't the mansion.
Yes.
Where were you? I was like, well, first of all, I recognized it because I did watch we all watched Listen to My Heart.
Yeah.
So it was like, okay.
That was a lockdown show.
Yes. But how was that? It was a totally different place.
Yeah. Obviously, the Bachelor Mansion has a lot of nostalgia to it. So I was like, oh dang, I'm not going to see the Bachelor Mansion. But also, I was really excited to be at a new mansion, because I felt like my season was already going to be breaking the mold in a lot of different ways. And I was like, great, another way that my season's going to be different. And I was excited about that.
Totally. That's such a great outlook, because you said, you are breaking the mold, and it's also new energy. There's a lot of stuff that has happened. A lot of stuff that has happened in the mansion. Yeah. So to kind of have your own spot.
Was there a reason that was shared or no of why the Bachelor Mansion was not used?
Not that I know of.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It was just a change up.
Yeah, just a little change up, and I loved it. I blessed it with some really good vibes, some energy, and it was great.
What's the biggest surprise that came to you while filming that you were most thrown off by, that maybe you had a different perception of what it was going to be going into it?
The biggest surprise about filming. Well, I don't know. I don't think that I realized how hard it would be dating 25 men, but also how much that I would maybe enjoy it. I love to flirt, so it was kind of fun to feel out all these different connections and relationships, and I thought it was a really good learning experience for me.
There were some great limo entrances, but your entrance was also fantastic.
Iconic. Yeah. Thank you.
I think people are also always so fascinated by the fashion and what goes into that, and the night one dress. How many options did you have? Did you get to pick? Were the options laid out for you?
Yeah, so I have a very nice stylist and the stylist team who picked out a bunch of options for me, and I got to try on all these dresses. It was every girl's makeover princess dream. I tried on these beautiful expensive gowns, and I eventually landed on that one, and I just thought that I liked the way it hugged my figure. I love the color of white. I thought it was very significant to the beginning of the journey. Yeah. So I was really excited about it.
Yeah, it was beautiful.
I feel like maybe the picking your looks might be one of the most fun parts. I mean,
absolutely.
You have a great look going on right now. You got slippers on with your jumpsuit, which we love and appreciate. You're looking comfy as can be. And the green is a great color, bold. So was that just so much fun being able to pick your looks?
So much fun. Unfortunately, I couldn't wear my UGG slippers during my dinner dates, but I would have if I could have.
Immediately after, when you get home, you're changing into
them.
Oh
my gosh, all the time. I was bringing them with me in the car and stuff when we go to these dates.
I gotta give the feet a rest.
Yeah, all the time.
Got it. Yeah. I mean, speaking of going back home after filming, what was it like for you to decompress at the end of the night? Or at the end of the morning?
Immediately when I hit the pillow, I was out.
Really?
I was just tired all the time. I mean, it's just, you're going through so much every day. You're going on these crazy dates. You're experiencing so many emotions all in one day. So you're physically and mentally just exhausted by the end of the day. And I would always just get the best night's sleep ever.
That's amazing, because I feel like it could go either way. You're either out or you're up overthinking everything.
I don't think so. It works out for me.
Kind of just cruise right in. You're in cruise control. You're like, how did I end up here?
You know how people are like, when you're just like silent and people are like, what are you thinking about? There's nothing going on.
That's amazing.
It's empty.
That's a dream.
Honestly, it's so funny.
Especially in that situation.
My friends were actually just joking about this the past weekend. Like, one of my friends was just like, isn't it crazy that just when you're talking, like, words are, you're just coming out of your mouth.
Right.
But, you know, what else is up there?
What are you thinking about? That's going to freak me out while we're in the process of interviewing. I know. Like, is my brain functioning right now?
Yeah, exactly. Like, what am I?
Yeah, no, but it's like when you're driving somewhere and then you go, wait, I just drove here? Like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it freaks me out every time.
You're like, you're just used to it.
You're on autopilot every time. Oh my gosh, every time I would like hit over like a bump or something, in my head, I'm like, I just ran over a dead body. Like, I'm definitely gonna, like, something just happened. It's crazy.
Is it sort of the same thing on those long flights? Because you guys are already off. Yeah. You know, first night, you guys are out of the mansion. Yeah. Long flights ahead.
I will say it's different raw dogging a 16-hour flight without your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you watch TV?
Yeah, there were TVs on the plane. So
you could watch the TV on the plane.
But like 16 hours of TV is
right.
too much.
But that's also like the only time you could watch TV, right?
I had a TV in my hotel room.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't have...
Yeah, well, you are the Bachelorette, right? Did you have a TV on Joey's season?
I did not. No.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah.
No, that is so true. I feel like that has been like such a funny discussion topic right now too, is like all the TikToks of people that are like, I'm about to raw dog this 8-hour flight, no music, no headphones. Like, no,
I'm like, I've been doing that. Like,
yeah, I know that is crazy. Well, that, I mean, I guess it is kind of reminiscent, right, of like when we talked to Kelsey and Joey. Kelsey was like, look, I would like listen to the same songs that the plane had because I just could. That's all I had. Just plug my headphones into the plane for like whatever music they had on there.
I was listening to like Australian classical music.
right.
Soothing.
Right.
Soothing.
Oh my gosh. Now my attention span couldn't not.
No, I think this is it's an obvious question, but it's kind of bold at the same time. It's like, how did you feel about the selection of men when you got there?
Yeah.
You know, like what was your initial thought seeing everybody without even like really getting to know them yet?
I was honestly really, really excited. I felt like each and every one of them were so easy to talk to, so I knew that there was potential already in the room for these connections to really grow. But I was just so excited. Like I said, like I love to flirt, and I was having just so much fun with them, and they were all just like giving it back and like having a good time with it. So I was excited about that.
Who had the most shocking limo entrance?
The butt cheeks. Like I remember he was like rolling up the limo rolling up the driveway. And I didn't for sure know what was happening yet, and I have really bad eyesight, and I thought that I was seeing something under his gown, and I was like, what is going on? Like, why is this man not wearing pants? I must be imagining things. And then I forgot about it when he came up and talked to me, and then he turned around and I was like, oh, he's just like not wearing anything. Got it.
That's a nice way to take you by surprise.
Yeah, shocked.
Were you like, oh, I'm in for it this season?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Did that scare you at all? Because then you had to like there was a big reveal. It was when he took off all the masks, the whatever you call it, bandages on his head, and it was like, hey, here I am. Like, what, that is pressure, because you have to like react the right way.
right, because if you're like, oh,
like, oh no, we're good.
I was just so confused by the whole thing, and I was just like, you know what, I love the message behind it though. Yes. You know, it was kind of like, I want you to know my personality, not my face kind of thing. But I was also
and my ass first.
Yeah. But also in my head I was also like, okay, really bold, like you gotta be really hot now.
Right. That's what and it was funny watching the commentary from the other guys, right? Because they were like, people are saying like
it's a celebrity.
Like, you know, they're all playing telephone in the mansion. They're probably like whispering each other's ears. I heard it's this person. Right. I heard thinking it's maybe an ex-contestant. The whole thing's so crazy. But there were some good ones. There were some cute ones. You had some favorites, some standouts.
Definitely. Yeah. The balloons.
I thought the balloons was cute.
I love, because it just reminded me of the movie Up.
Yeah.
It was. And it's so nostalgic. Yeah. So I thought it was so cute.
And they had the best love story.
Yeah. I know. It just makes me so sad.
That's a classic. It's a classic.
Isn't that just the goal? Yeah. And you know what? I also really loved the the friendship bracelet I thought was really cute.
Big ode to Taylor Swift. I loved it. I was like, you know me. You
I was like, that's relevant. That's cute.
I like something cute and classy and like right into the point. You know what I mean? Nothing crazy.
I kind of like the crazy ones too.
Yeah. Well,
like it gives you something to talk about.
That is true.
It's like I can't believe you actually live animals with your ass cheeks.
Right.
Or the puppies. Oh my gosh, that was my favorite. I'm sorry, I take it back.
Puppies is a move. I don't know how that hasn't been a thing every season.
I
like
know.
how do they not pick one lucky person to be the puppy person?
Yeah, because you're automatically drawn to the puppies.
Exactly.
I couldn't pay attention to him.
I guess maybe it's a hindrance.
Yeah, right.
I know.
Maybe it actually is not a good thing.
Right. You remember the puppies, but do you remember him?
Right.
That's the big question. Yeah, that's
the puppy guy.
Puppy guy. He was just like forever puppy guy.
Looking at the puppies. The Corvette was a bold move.
Yes.
And there was like kind of an ensuing awkward moment after that where you guys were in the car and then you were interrupted by Brian.
So awkward.
And he like wanted to kick him out of the car. I mean, you just sat there. What was going through your head?
I was like, I'm gonna let the boys figure out their little drama here. So they figure out how to be men. And listen, I mean, I'm all for a little tea. I think drama is great to see like how people react in it and how people solve drama. So it's kind of like, well, this isn't really any of my business.
Right.
I'm just
see how this plays out.
See how this unfolds.
Yeah.
Like, will he get out of the car?
Yeah.
I was going to ask, what's your, tolerance policy on drama happening in the house? Because past seasons, it's a oh, he said, or she said, she said. And you really never know. But the viewers watching going, how do they not know the truth? But you're kind of blind to it.
You're blind to it. And that's why I'm kind of excited to watch this all back too, because I'm excited to kind of see the perspectives and the conversations going on in the house, because I don't get to see that part. So I'm psyched to see that part. But with drama, like I don't know. I think for me, as long as it didn't interfere with my connections with certain people, I wasn't too worried about it. Like, as long as people didn't make it the basis of every single conversation, I was good with it,
So true. When it becomes the only thing you're talking about, then you don't have a connection. It's just about the drama.
Yeah, exactly.
What is your take on if somebody has seen the show before versus somebody who doesn't know anything about the show? Yeah. Where do you land on that?
I think everybody knows about the show.
Yeah.
You at least know about it. And if you say that you don't, you're lying.
Right, exactly. But like super fan status versus like
for sure.
a casual, like I've seen it.
I mean, it can go both ways, really. I think, and I would hope that anyone coming into this journey is going to do it because they truly see that, a connection could form and that you could, and that I want them to at least be open to love,
Totally.
And that's all I was really asking for.
Right. Just to have that, like, something could happen.
Yeah.
But there's other benefits as well.
I mean, I think people do go on thinking that for sure.
There are so many different ways night one goes, right? You have some leads that kiss everybody. You have some leads that don't. You were a little more reserved. Why did you feel like you wanted to like kind of go that route? Did you not like? Because I feel like you had your first kiss, but it was just with the first impression rose.
Yeah. For me, I think that, well, I know myself, and I know that it takes a little bit for me to want to like get to that physical level with someone. Yeah. Like I honestly think like a kiss is one of like the most intimate things you can do with somebody. Yeah. And so I knew going into night one I wasn't going to kiss everybody. I just knew for me it was going to take a little bit more and a few more conversations to get there, but I wasn't limiting myself in terms of I'm only going to kiss this amount of people or anything. I really just went into it thinking I'm going to feel each relationship and see where I get with them at that point, and if I feel like it's right. So
I love that. And I think it's just like feeling it out for yourself. If you want to do it, you will. If you don't, you won't. Yeah. And I totally respect like needing more of a connection, needing to know the personality a bit more before getting to that physical level, which everybody has their own way in which they
were trying. It was a hot topic all night. They're like, who's going to get a kiss?
I know.
Right.
I know. But
is it funny like watching that back and be like, oh my God, I can't believe they were all talking about this?
Actually, I had no idea. But, everyone moves differently. And I'm glad, like, the guys kind of felt it out.
Yeah. Right. Everybody was respectful about it. What was it
and
about?
a compliment to want to kiss you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You're the Bachelorette. You want,
I want to be kissed.
Yeah, exactly.
What drew you to Sam? Because he did get the first impression rose.
Yeah.
what about him stuck out to you?
I think for me during the night, I just was thinking like I want to give this rose out to someone who makes me feel the most comfortable and something. And with him, like I just kept thinking back to him in our conversation. So I was like, I think it should go to Sam because I had just had such a good time talking to him, and I thought that our connection was really genuine in the moment, and it just felt so comfortable. So it was an easy answer for me then.
What I know you kind of mentioned it a little bit throughout the show of like, you've had tough past relationships and some toxic relationships. I'm not gonna lie, when you pick Sam, I was like, I think I see the pattern. Because he came off to me like, I think it's because of the look. He has like this, I don't know how many seasons of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette you've watched. I've watched a lot.
Not many, actually.
But he gives like this like Sean Booth, Juan Pablo, suave kind of vibe. And I mean, granted, they did so well on the show, but I was like, I could tell, I was like, oh, this guy is smooth. And it's like, I was like, and I obviously I don't know what happens with he could be the guy you pick, because another thing that I think is so great and also shows women's intuition is The Bachelorette. A lot, like the odds I think of them picking their first impression rose, there's been a lot.
Yeah,
I've heard that. Yeah,
there has been a lot. So he stood out to me in a way, but in a way that was like, I was like, ooh, he could be sneaky.
Interesting. Noted.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know if I'm putting it. And then when I saw the preview, I was like, I could have been onto something here. You
never know what's to happen now.
You never know.
It's so tough, like, talking to you at the beginning of the season, because it's like, we want to talk about everything. We want to talk about the people. Sure. But I also am like, when she was just saying that, I didn't even look at your face, because I'm like, I don't even want to know what she is feeling about. Just because it's like, you don't want to get spoiled, at the same time.
It is tough, but and once again, the show is so good at giving us this full season teaser and trailer, and you think what happens, and it's always something different, or because it felt like, I was like, oh, the season, the trailer really makes you think like, oh, I don't really know how this goes. It kind of sounds like there might be, the rose, putting the rose back on the stand in the final, in the finale. It's like, oh shit, okay.
I mean, listen, there were so many twists and turns throughout the journey. Like, I truly was on the edge of my seat every day, being like, what new developments are going to be happening? Who's going to show up? How am I going to feel? Like every day something new is happening. So I really do feel like it was.
You did have an ex show up, right? Or I mean, it was in the trailer. Or I guess you can't say.
Yeah, it was. It was more of like somebody shows up. Yeah.
Interesting.
Juicy.
Yeah.
Juicy.
Yeah.
And now I feel like this happens every season, but it's always like something that's never happened before. And I think you've said that.
Yes, I did say that. Yeah. It definitely was some, like, the way that things played out and the way that it ended for sure is like a first. Yeah. And I'm very excited about that.
I think, oh, gosh, it gets me every time.
I know.
Every single time I am roped into this something that has never happened before.
Listen, I wouldn't say it if it weren't true.
Yeah. So you guys immediately are off traveling right off the bat. Did you know that was going to be the plan, that you were going to be able to like say to the guys, hey, we're going to Australia right away?
Yeah, so Jesse had told me that night, actually. So it's not like I didn't know like weeks before. I found out that night, which I mean,
that's a surprise.
Yeah, I was so excited about it. It was crazy. And I was so excited to be able to break the news to the boys too. Yeah. And what a shocker. Like I feel so grateful that I was even like granted that opportunity. Like I've always wanted to go to Australia. So
it's like a bucket list destination.
It is. It always is, right? So it's definitely on mine.
I know. So I'm like, immediately I was like, oh my gosh, if they're starting in Australia,
who knows where else they're
going, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what a cool,
it's insane,
cool season, and like to be able to travel like that.
The travel was so nice.
And such a quick turnaround, because it was like that conversation at Joey's finale to you filming right away, and then you're off to the races immediately. What was the like biggest point that you wanted to get across when you had that first sit down with Jesse Palmer the night that you were announced? Like, what did you want to, display to the world that you're like, you know what, I'm becoming the Bachelorette?
I think I really just wanted to show, who I was and show what I wanted out of this journey. And I wanted to find my person, and I wanted to have some fun with it too.
Yeah. It's amazing. Well, we're so excited to continue watching and to see what happens, because like we said, it's never happened before. So everybody tune in. You know the drill. The Bachelorette on Mondays, ABC, 8 o'clock. Jen, thank you so much.
Thank you so much
for joining us, and we will be following along. So
I love that. I can't wait to see what you guys think.
Thank you so much, Jen.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.